All right, we're going to log into our KW command, and we're going to show you how to do the listing presentation. And you just go into the print part of the thing, then you go through the listing presentations, you pick out the one you like. After you go up to listing presentation, I like the one to the far right. But thumb through all of them, see what you like, and then you go in and you got to just change a few things. First, you got to add all the pages you want uh, into the actual listing presentation. So there, we're going through all the pages. Some of these need to be modified, and they just need to be modified once. And then you can just use that listing presentation to do all the rest of your listing presentations. But right now, this one's going to take a long time because we're going to go through the whole thing. We're going to change, we're going to add each one. Now, once you do this and you're happy with it, you don't have to add each one over and over again as we're doing here. So you go through and you add all these. Um, then we're going to change each one as it's needed. Some it's just to put the personal agent information in there, and others it's to put the listing or the comparative properties in. We will go through that in a little bit. Again, once you do this once, it's probably the last time you're going to have to do it unless you want to add a page back in. When we go through here, we're going to find a page that didn't work so well, so um, we may want to add it back in, but that's all right. The template will always have these pages there. It's just what you add in may not, or what you subtract from it may not be there when you go to use the listing presentation again. This is setting it up the first time is tedious. It sometimes just takes sitting down a couple different times and actually doing it because this video is 43 minutes long, 43 minutes and 18 seconds, and it's kind of hard to sit down and go through this stuff. Sometimes you're going to need to take a break because you're going to need to put in logos you didn't realize needed to be in there, or photos. I always go through in the beginning. I think there's 4 comparables in this thing, maybe 6. But I go through and I do a cloud CMA and I pick out the comparables and I write the MLS numbers down so that I can have those ready. You also got to go through and figure out some of your stats. You'll see when we come to them in this presentation. Um, but yeah, you gotta have that stuff ahead of time, or you're gonna pause and figure it out during the while you're putting the presentation together. And I think that is the last page. A lot of these can be shown on the on a laptop or iPad or some kind of tablet. Yeah, because this all dark colored one it burns up a lot of toner printing it out. So I don't know if I'd be so happy to use that one, um, especially if I'm paying for the toner. But so here we go. That front page. Oh, there's some blank pages in here. You see that? I wonder why they didn't come across. Anyway, so you can go through and go back and find those pages. I think page 6 is one of them that didn't come across right. And you go in there and you drop it in. I don't know which page it was. that one there, obviously. So you drop it in, and it always drops in at the end, the last one. And then you go to the back and you grab it. Yeah, you can't just click on it and plus it, right? Yeah, well, there it is. So you grab it out of the bottom rack there from the end, and you drag it to its position inside where it's supposed to be inside the report. So you just drag it across there. So anytime you want to add anything, you just drag it into its place, and then you eliminate the blank one. This one always starts out with a blank one too. You got to eliminate that one. But anyway, so you just go through like that and get them all in the right place and get it all looking good. And then you start to personalize it to your own, you know, to who you are as an agent. Here I took out, you just take out the word template. Listing presentation is going to be good. And then you go on and we'll do it for Norma and Brian Halstead. So you notice I hit that little keyboard up there, and it pops up this window. It makes it easier to see and easier to work with as far as I'm concerned. Then you go in here, same, click the little keyboard, put in Halstead. Oh, well, there I typed it in the actual box instead of using a keyboard for some reason. I guess just to show I could do it. Then you go to the DBA name and you just hit the little recycling thing. Sometimes it'll put it in a different position. You put it down there though. And for these little areas, I magnify it, take the photo, and it's automatically going to show you your photos. That one, no, I don't like that one. You can drag it and drop it in there, and it resizes, or you can hit the recycling thing and put it in there, however you feel like doing it. So put Norma's name in there as the presenter and her last name. And this is the tedious stuff right here. It's just little by little. You got to do these things, get them lined up a little bit better and everything. But once this is done right here, um, it's done, right? You don't have to do it again. So um, the next time, now look at this. See the app? I don't know the app thing. It would be nice if it could just fill it in there. Or if it could have it available, it didn't even have it down here on the list to the left. Um, of stuff I could just fill it in with. So anyway, so once this is done, you just pull up this one and reuse it for your next listing presentation. And then all you have to do is change the house and the comparable information. And it makes life a lot easier. So to go get the app, I just go into command, go to the settings and the marketing profile, and snag the app out of there. I could either go into there or go into the consumer part and get it out of the URLs, but it's easier this way for me. Go down to the bottom. There it is right there. There's the last little bit is all I need. Copied it. Come back down here and paste it in. Oh, that's not where. There it is. Okay. Paste it in there. Okay. Maybe stretch that out a little bit. Maybe not. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, next page. So now we're on page 3. And if I want a little bit different pictures in there, I put different pictures in there. But um, let's see. Put Norma's picture in there. Hit the little recycling. There it goes. And I'm going to change out the house. I'm going to change it to the house that we're going to be um, selling, which is one of our old houses. And so I put the MLS number for, I figured, just as an example. And so we search it by the MLS number, and there's that listing. And we'll use the first house, first picture. There it is. And so the other picture's fine. Go on to page 4 and change some of that information. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We'll take that picture there and replace it with the swimming pool picture. You're probably not going to have these kind of pictures of your client's house, but you know, then it has how many bedrooms and baths it is. And that house was 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1231 square feet, and we sold it for 331.5 in 2017. Yeah, bought it for 1049 5 years earlier, so that was an okay deal. It ended up okay. Then always look at these paragraphs here and make sure it has what you want in there instead of Barton Hills in Austin, Texas. So I think I'll just put downtown Lodi, and you know the characteristics of it, what makes it stand out or whatever. Um, Compared to homes in the downtown Lodi area, that's a pretty average place. Yeah, see, these are things you're going to have to change, and you're going to have to change these every time because it's a different thing every time, a different house, unless you're lucky enough to sell the same house twice. Some of this is just silliness, but hey, I guess you want people to know you know about their house anyway when you're sitting there trying to convince them to use you to sell it. Okay, downtown Lodi again. Perfect. Not many homes in downtown Lodi have a swimming pool. Okie dokie. So we're done with that. Did you notice what I'm forgetting there? That's it. Okay, that's 8 North California. Yeah, it's gonna look a little bit off, so you drag it over there, make it look good, make it fit in there. Okay, now we can go on to the next one. Now with this one, I had a little bit of fun because what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to click on that banner right there, which is a market snapshot. Then you're supposed to go into KWLS, go up to the top here, and see where it says snapshots. You're supposed to be able to run that neighborhood and have that thing. Uh, you run a zip code to find the neighborhood. You find the neighborhood on the map. However you find the neighborhood, or you already know it, you're supposed to be able to put it in there and have it pull up a snapshot that looks just like this thing we have here in the circle or in the picture thing, but with the stats for that neighborhood. Well, sometimes the world doesn't work as it's supposed to work. Some people think that's the end of the world. It is not. I go through, I try to find a neighborhood, I try to get a snapshot that I can copy and or take a screenshot of or whatever, but it's not working. It doesn't work. It's not the end of the world. Um, yeah, I go through, look at my name, try to add that neighborhood so I can get the snapshot of that neighborhood instead of what I've got up there. There's just no help. So I go to the map. Sorry, find it on the map. Just drill down to that neighborhood and find, okay, it's Hutchins Street Square. That's the neighborhood. Okay, go back. Hutchins Street Square. Find it. It's supposed to pull up that little thing there with all the stats. It's supposed to be a snapshot, and then I can just hit the little circle thing, and it'll drop right in there. It never works, not this time. So I end up just blocking that and just taking it out, saying adios and vaya con Dios, and we will deal with it another day. But those are the things you run into every once in a while, and you think, oh gosh darn it, but nothing, nothing to do about it now. So let's just continue on, and at least we know that it's Hutchins Street Square neighborhood. And gotta of course adjust it. Maybe make the writing smaller. I don't know. There. Now, some of this wording, I'm not sure I'm going to be very happy using uh, in advertising material or any kind of written material of any kind, such as uh, attractive to young professionals. Sounds like a little bit of age discrimination going on there. Um, families, I guess the family, just look at the fair housing stuff. Familial status is one of the protected classes, and so is age, unless you're in a 55 and over community. Otherwise, you can't advertise that. So, um, when you look at advertising as to who is best for this area, I don't know if that's a good idea to use familial status or age. Um, but do as you wish. Uh, I won't. I won't use that stuff. But go ahead. Um, I just wouldn't want to end up in court. So then you change a little bit of this around to match. I think it's cool to have these things here so you know what's a good thing to put down here and what's a good thing to put down there. Um, so only had to change that a little bit because people pretty much always like the same things. Um, they don't change a whole lot, except for the downtown has the craftsman style houses because those were a lot of those were built in the 20s and 30s, and that's when or 10s, 20s, and 30s, and that was that style of home, you know. So of course I got to go back and look up the darn uh, the what do you call that thing? The mobile app. Uh, URL. I keep forgetting it, or why should I remember it, right? Uh, so there we go. Put it in there. Life is good. Okay. There's that little bolded thing underneath it. Kind of sneak that out of there. So there's not stacked up on top of each other. Come on, Brian. It should be easier than this, right? Okay. So now I've decided it is not going to happen. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. We are not going to be able to use. Oh, wait. Reviewing it. Reviewing. Some of these things just need to go. And that's going to go. So we'll maybe catch it next time. It's not playing well with others right now. So we're going to get it out of there. And yeah, really doesn't look that bad. Okay, now here's the comparable properties. Here's where having them written down is going to be helpful to you. So if you have the MLS number written down, you just put it in there, and this brings up all the MLS information. Boom. Then you put in the address and go to the listing details, and it's going to have the information you need. It may be a little bit long, so you go in there and you bring it down to size. And you go in here, do it to what's right. Either adjust, I think I knew what this one was, but you can go over here on the left and scroll down. Once you're out of the box, you can't do it when you're in that box right there. You got to save those changes and then go down and go over and find out how many square feet it was. Oh, 1408. I guess I already knew it. What it sold for, and unfortunately, I didn't look at how many days it took to sell it, so I went ahead and just erased that. If I wasn't as lazy as I feel right now, because I'm already 24 minutes into this, I would have gone ahead and looked that up. But be it as it may. So, anyway, go through that whole thing. Put all four of them in there. Go to your next page. Um, check out what it says. See if I like or don't like the picture. It's a cute picture. Um, all is good. Not much needs to be done there. So, let's see what the small writing is. Oh, the darn app again. Just for giggles. There we go. Yeah, looks okay. When you're at the presentation, of course, always it's nice to know what these things say, so you can present this. Don't just throw it in front of them and tell them to read it. You want to go ahead and pretty much say what it is saying. Best intact, blah blah blah, yada yada. So we're almost halfway there. This is what we're gonna do. Change the photos here, make it their house or the houses in the area. These don't reflect the Central Valley of California, so yeah, maybe a couple, but um, want to get some good looking pictures in there, more reflective of houses in this area. So we'll put in some of the places we've sold. So I don't know, and this is not bad, but it's always better to use your own listings. Kind of gives a client an idea that we do use professional photography every time we take a listing, and this is what that professional photography looks like, you know. And we can tell them these are houses that we've listed in the past, and you know, kind of like it. Uh, you got a good track record, right? You want to throw it out in front of people. If you don't, you just do what you got to do. See, this is the time-consuming stuff. But like I said, this is like some of the few things you have to change once you get all your name and your pictures in there and your stats and stuff like that. These few things take a lot less time in the future. You or your assistant, whichever one is going to be doing this. And I think I'm going to close this out and zoom ahead. Let's come on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Make sure you do what this book says you're going to do, or take those pieces out of there. Um, I'll leave open house there. Maybe I don't know. Sometimes I'll leave it there and just cross it out on the actual copy. Um, yeah, or put in there that they're not permitted right now. Open house strategy. Yeah, man. I think we're just going to go and take that page out. There's no use having it there. Yeah, door knocking. Not good right now. Not when the virus is running around. Okay, now here's where you gotta have some numbers. Again, you want to have your picture ready, and we have it. Yeah, looks good. Honestly, I think I can, like, down in that red box, I can figure out how many repeat clients we've had, but I don't want to. So I'm just gonna, the things you got, you can do, you know, blank space isn't uncommon. So when you have these credentials or whatever, and you don't have any credentials yet, other than being the best realtor in the world, you can just get rid of those things. Um, Put our team thing in there. Looks like we got some open space for that. Just a little subtle. The Halstead team there. Yeah, get rid of some of that stuff. And if, like this red box down here, if you don't have numbers in there that you're happy to shop from the rooftop, just go ahead and get rid of that box. Or if you're a member of a team, put the team stats in there, or you put your market center stats in there. Sometimes that seems a little deceptive though, but um, I don't know. Luckily, we have pretty decent stats. Well, Norman has pretty decent stats. 37. Yeah. And then that one there. Just get rid of it. I don't know. See? Then we go check out all that stuff. For some reason, I wanted to adjust this box here. And then we go on to the next one. I don't know about all that stuff. Wasn't ready for that. I either got to go look it up or I got to eliminate that page. At 34 minutes into this, what do you think I'm going to do? Bingo! You got it right. Yahtzee. Get rid of that stuff. Yeah, this one here. Um, Norma's got the um, 4 years of the Masters Club. So we'll put that in there and get that all straightened out. And there's like 4 years of it, and then there's a little bit of space at the top. I might even put a picture of the uh, her 4 Masters Club uh, awards, you know, and just have them uh, up at the top of this box, or just leave it empty, you know. I do that to every one of these. Oops, silly me. Hmm. Nope, got 2020 also. Get rid of these. You don't actually have that yet, but it has been earned and is on its way. When I say we, I mean Norma. I could have cut some of this stuff out, but I think it's important to see how long it takes. Um, so you could always speed up the video, but you'll at least know it takes 43 minutes and 18 seconds to get through some of this stuff. I did cut a little bit out, but like this page here, that page that we just left off of, that only has to be updated once a year. So every time you win a Masters Club award or get a new award of some kind, you just put it in there. Um, all the other stuff, like this page here. I mean, houses go so quick. Unless you really feel like bragging, you don't need a featured listings. It's not. It's just unnecessary because the houses don't last long enough. This would be for ones like that are still on the market or whatever. Got 3 days on the market with 20 offers. So they go pretty quick. Did you see almost eliminated wrong page there? That would have been embarrassing. Okay, so here are the testimonials. I'm not going to go, copy and paste the darn things yourselves when you get to your testimonial page. Got a case of the lazies right now. So then, know what your promise is. If there's anything you need to change it. Like a promise to have an open house. No, you don't, because you can't. Stuff like that. Um, we're actually limited to the realtor and 2 people, not the realtor and 4 people. Um, so there's some of the stuff we're going to have to change. And it's hard to tell if we have forever changed the way we're going to show houses and stuff, but at least for now, we have, it's necessary to change the way we're showing houses. I sign that individually, or Norma signs that individually. People like seeing the signature, so there's just no use in copying it in there when you got to go through this thing anyway to see what went good and what went bad or whatever, how it looks, did it print properly and stuff like that. Then there's a back page. You throw all that stuff in there, and then you're done. All that stuff right there will not have to be redone. It's so when you come back to do this another time, you will save yourself a whole heck of a lot of time by just being able to go in here and change those few houses. You just got to have that stuff ready to go. The MLS numbers and all that for your comparables. But it's a good looking thing. I should have, when I got to the end, I should have flipped through it like or saved it as a PDF, or uh, saved it as a something to show on a iPad. I just didn't. It's a good looking presentation. So, you know, you'll be able to represent yourself well with this. Who uses a fax machine anymore? And you got all that stuff. You guys know how to do all that by now. Here we go. And we are pretty darn close to done. So what do you think about that? You think you can do that? Yeah, you can do it. Especially since there's only like 5 or 6 pages that have to be altered in any way after you get this initial thing. So looks like a winner. So there it is in our designs. Norma and Brian listing presentation. And we're good to go. Thanks for playing along. Bye.